just continue to support the Stalinists. Or actually, I wasn't supporting them for some reason here. Elections of 1992. The 1992 presidential elections are going to take place in the United States. And because we exist, unlike historically, the Soviet Union already collapsed by this point, we can try to influence its results. Of course, if the difference between the candidates would be too significant, we won't be able to do anything. But if not, then we have a chance. Generally speaking, there's a point system that goes on in a hood, and the more capitalist and the more pro-Western your policies are. Basically looks at your foreign policy or economic model. I forget something else. Might be your political structure, in which case it's fairly hardline. Like all of these things except the diplomatic thing. Republicans win more when you're hardlining it, and Democrats more when you're taking a softer approach. And the Republicans are more aggressive in the foreign stage. So in easy, the U.S. doesn't seem to do much regardless. Anyways, if the difference between the two is too significant, we won't be able to do anything. But if not, then we have a chance. Election candidates are George Bush, who lost his popularity because of failed promises, or Bill Clinton, who promises social and tax reforms, renewal of the government, and strengthening the U.S. power in foreign politics. Okay, I cancel it about Democrats are first. It looks like Clinton is actually the one who's more aggressive here. Also probably raises domestic contentment. However, there is high support of Ross Perot, an independent candidate who doesn't support international confrontation, promises to modernize the American Constitution. There's no way Perot wins. You know, I just won't intervene. It'll probably upset the U.S. if I do, and I doubt it can affect it. The U.S. presidential elections were won by Ross Perot. What? Okay. Glad I didn't support. He's the one I most would want, but I didn't think he had a chance. He was known for his words about the need to modernize the Constitution, which was ran at the time. So when the U.S. didn't have anything it has today, he was elected because of his promises of friendship with the Soviet Union. Ooh, nice. Worldwide globalization. Demilitarization, expand the role of business. But will he keep his promises? Maybe. History is diverging, because the Soviet Union has not collapsed. Stability is pretty high. Now it's compared to the Russian Federation stability at this point in history, because the Soviet Union was no more. Production, which is more than double the economic cratering after the fall of the Soviet Union, was quite noticeable, to say the least. This availability is very low because it cut into medical spending a lot. Culture is not doing amazing. Eventually, grab GMOs, but it does cause some discontent in your country and in China if you sell the GMOs to the West. But even if you don't in your own country, there's some pushback. People are afraid of them. I don't need neutron warheads right now, and I can't do social credit system, or an OGAS can seriously destabilize the system. Trying to fully automate state planning at this point is going to be hugely problematic. I don't know if there's an event to do a Mars mission with like Chinese help. Probably not. But for now, funding to stabilize my support in the third world. Let's see, I've essentially got 86 budget to play with in this. Djibouti is still not flipped after all this, really? Well, antagonizes the US an awful lot. If I do a revolution, it's better to keep a country socialist. I don't have to pay in extra diplomatic missions. This just requires more spending on soldiers standard of living to increase army recruitment. With military aid, it's cheaper. Alright, that should keep Djibouti stable for a while. Let's finish developing Togo. Now we can do resource extraction. And it's fully stabilized at 39 disapproval. Cool. Still have a considerable amount of money to play with. Tunisia probably needs development. Boom. And Tanzania. That's overspending a little. More military aid to Tanzania. Civil aid into resource extraction. Still need more money. Need a country with low disapproval to get some mutual aid resource extraction out of. Honduras. Here we go. When they're at 100 development or more, resource extraction endurance less disapproval. And boom, just barely stable. But they're stable here. Might go back and give this military to some point. Oop, getting Basu is in trouble. I need military, just not the flip. Ivory Coast I can extract from a little. Civil aid. Boom. It's disapproval. Now the budget's stable. DEFCON, I think it was at 3 before, so it went down. Bulgaria, our loyal ally after rejection in 1963 and the beginning of the 70s, again asked to enter the Soviet Union after we've come through our main problems. Wait, I can't break sovereignty? Really? Well, there is map action to bring anyways. Strengthen economic connections, the Comecon. After another Bulgarian request to enter the Soviet Union, an immediate Comecon meeting was called, where all countries agreed to deepen mutual integration. Unification of the economy. Is that what increased my benefits from? Oh yeah, export. It looked like they went up from that substantially. So I should have more money to play with. I didn't realize that was so lucrative. It's probably a permanent modifier, and I can eventually do this. I just have to wait till the Soviet Union has fallen. If I had Trotskyites in the majority, that probably could have annexed them earlier. Okay. Is a little excessive. Trim their budget a little more. These are going well. So quite well. Instantly cuts their loyalty. There's a lash back to that, but it'll probably rise back up. The anti-alcohol campaign, keep prices high. Yep, their loyalty rebounded because things are going so well. Got a lot of money to play with here for civil aid to countries that need it. Ibizu in particular, which I neglected to invest in before. Boom. Still not fully stabilized, but they're getting there. What? Some military aid. Stabilize them right at a, 100 development. Then I don't have to worry about shooting. Boom. Fully developed socialism threat this part of the world. Iberia is one of the countries that won't revolt on its own, apparently. Countries I partially developed, the knowledge and Niger don't seem to be doing it either. Or Zambia. Guess I'm gonna have to do something about that. One that's slowly, very slowly moving towards our revolution. Why is the heavy industry power falling? Interesting. Political opponents. Try and move remaining political rivals on the top of our Olympus. Some of the moderates, conservatives, the heads. At the moderates, this will reduce the power of some of their leaders. Like Tayokin, I'm worried about his power level that he might try and gain power. Don't necessarily want him or Yavlinsky out of politics. I just want him weakened. And then I could pressure out. Maybe. Well, the demand is rebounded enough that I can get more money from it. Cool. liberalization of the works pact has ended, maybe because of the unification of the economies. Cut into state propaganda a little. Or decrease heavy industry budgets slightly, since this affects exports. Because the 5-year plan favors light industry now, I don't need as much spending as I once did on it. And I have a minister who favors it too, the agriculture one. And where's this guy? Increases consumer goods and luxuries. So effectively, you don't use much service or light industry things, Dan. Anyways, 66 DEFCON 2. Oh, Yugoslavia meeting. War in Yugoslavia goes on for a few years, and the last straw, as the West says, is accusations from Bosnian refugees of the genocide by the Serbian army. As a result, an urgent UN Security Council meeting took place. The West wants, after the request of Bosnia, Croatia, and Kosovo. Remember, Bosnia was initially attacking Serbian communities, which is historically accurate, and then, yes, the Serbs retaliated by carrying out genocide. So it was a vicious conflict where there were no good guys. You get nationalists from each country trying to say, oh, we were the good guys and we were only the victims. No, everybody was tainted in this conflict. Anyways, where the West wants, after the request of Bosnia, Croatia, and Kosovo, to enforce no-fly zone and begin NATO peacekeeping missions. No-fly zones are usually an excuse to bomb countries. It's a euphemism. It's a no-fly zone. No, it's an area where you first clear the airspace of hostile aircraft and then bomb. Almost every single time there's a no-fly zone, this is what it actually is. It's a bombing campaign. I'm most certainly not supporting the Western decision, veto decision, and send help to Serbians so that the system can be kept socialist. They're all bad guys, but this prevents capitalism from spreading. We vetoed such an obvious try to destroy Yugoslavia and sent humanitarian aid together with weapons with military advisors to Milosevic. After a few fights, Serbian soldiers fully destroyed the opposition. Orders restored, the country is preparing to join the Kremlin. Also, this put an earlier end to the violence, whereas the bombing campaign historically cost a lot of lives. A lot of lives. But no, they brought them to the Comic-Con. Benefits people economically, it restored peace to the country, made sure socialism is secure there, and better defensive perimeter on the Warsaw Pact. US is increasingly pissed at me. And, well, they're increasingly irrelevant. They rely on imperialism to remain afloat. Let's put them all in reserve so we can see what I got to spend. 64, 68 money. So take an approach of consolidating what I have control of. Tourist, their disapproval went down, so I guess at 100 development it slowly decays. Meaning the more countries you have fully developed under mutual aid, the more money you can bring in. You help them, and they give you just a little bit back over time. Eventually, in long-term investments. Terrible return, so it's not like it's highly profitable the way neocolonialism is, but you get something back at least for what you gave them. Anyways, resource extraction Mauritania, because their disapproval is down to 29. Just give me more money to single level of civil aid. I need to give some military aid too. So that this stays below 50.